success and dreams, high aspirations are there. So let me also tell you something which is very important attribute in one's success. This attribute is quite simple but highly neglected. This attribute is something which I have already lacked in recent times when I needed the most. But since I have read quite a lot of books in recent days, I have realized the importance of it. And the most important attribute is self-discipline. If you ask me what is self-discipline, I would say it is one's ability to control one's impulses, urge, desires, behavior. Besides all this, it is also one's ability to let go the desire for instant pleasure, let go the desire for quick gratification, all this. So it is quite essential to control one's mind in order to look for the larger picture. When I say the larger picture, I mean the long-term fulfillment, the long-term happiness, the long-term goal what we all crave for. So it is quite essential to build the self-discipline. If you ask me what are the steps, how we can develop the self-discipline, I would say the first step is the baby step. It starts with a baby step. You know, the largest of the transformation, biggest of the changes cannot take place overnight. As we all spend days to build muscles, so it does take quite a long time to build the so-called self-discipline. So when you say the simplest of the steps in building self-discipline is just to be aware of the one key factor, that having a clear mindset that you need to move forward come what may. You should not get digressed from any kind of temptations, any kind of unwanted desires what is coming between. And besides that, you always keep in your mind what it is essential to reach the zenith, the peak. The next step would be know what motivates you and what are your bad triggers. How you can begin with this point is start to learn about yourself. When I say start to learn about yourself, I mean start to find what are the factors that are affecting you, what are your bad triggers. For example, if you are not able to control your cravings for cakes, pastries or anything, and these are the certain things where you find quite difficult to resist. So when you know these are your weaknesses, then the single and the simplest of the things what you can do is be away from all this. Be away from all these detractors. And when you know that these are your weaknesses, and even after keeping yourself away from these things are not going to work, then you can do another thing, and that would be to surround yourself with motivational factors. Surround yourself with people who are always encouraging. Surround yourself with good pictures. Surround yourself with motivational thoughts, slogans. These are the essential building blocks of your. Crusade in terms of building the self-discipline. And the third factor would be make a regular behavior, make a good regular behavior into your daily routine. For example, if I say that one has to lose some weight, that person should resolve in eating fruits and doing at least half an hour of exercise every day. So it's a good practice. So make this practice a routine in your life. So when you make this practice a routine in your life, you will go on gradually building up the self-discipline foundation. So it is quite essential. The next point would be learn to say no. A personal denial. Okay, this factor is quite essential. We should always think about the consequences before working on something. We should always fight with the battle. The actual battle is within. We should learn to say ourselves no. Before getting onto something, think of the consequences, what it will result in. We might start something which gives us instant gratification, immediate pleasure, but when you look at the larger picture, in long term, it might have negative consequences, which is quite might result in bad attitude for a longer time. And having a bad attitude is also a that behavior. It is actually based on your morale. So it is actually quite disturbing. So after having said all this, the next factor would be engage yourself in sports and exercise. Well, sporting is the finest building blocks of self-discipline. It teaches you how to manage the difficult situation. It makes you stronger physically, emotionally, physiologically as well. It teaches you how to manage a difficult situation and how to overcome from that difficult situation in a quick time. So sporting is quite an essential factor when it comes to building the self-discipline. The next point would be foresee or visualize the future. Always try to visualize yourself as a successful person in future. Always see how rewarding it is when you have achieved something great in your life. The countless benefits what you are going to enjoy, the immense pleasure what you are going to enjoy when you have attained the success. I mean, nothing is more gratifying than achieving one's goals. It gives immense pleasure. So apart from all these, the most important, last but not the least, is when we need to master our own destiny, we need to be master of our own minds and thoughts. And when we are the controller of our own thoughts, we will be the controller of our actions. And when we are able to control all this, and we are able to cultivate our mind in finest of the manners, there is nothing which is impossible. And there is a saying which is quite popular: those who live with no self-discipline dies with no honor. So it is quite essential for all of us to inculcate the habit of building self-discipline right from the beginning. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that speech, Doctor. Our next speaker for the evening.
Just a second.
So our next speaker for this evening is someone who has always told us very inspirational stories. Her stories have always been through her own life experiences and have taught us very valuable life lessons which we all need to learn. And today her topic is about magic that will change your life. So please welcome Dina on stage.
Before you start, I want you to start. At the end of 3 minutes, I'll be showing the green paper for this.